So I wanted to make a cute little video outside. I drove all the way to the park and it decided to rain. So I guess we're doing it in the car as usual. But anyway, with the new year approaching, I really wanted to talk about our idea of what success is versus failure. I feel like too often we don't give ourselves enough credit for the things that we have accomplished because we're so focused on the things that we would like to accomplish in the future. And oftentimes we end up feeling like failures because we haven't reached the big goal yet. But the thing is, in order to reach your main goal, you have to first accomplish smaller goals. So I think that instead of only focusing on what you want your main outcome to be, you should focus more on creating smaller things to achieve on your way to the big thing so that you have little reminders that you are on the right path and you have things to celebrate on the way. There's no reason why you should be chasing success or trying to develop something new about yourself, whatever it is, and then not giving yourself credit for what you've accomplished, because you're making progress and you're accomplishing things, but you're overlooking those things because you feel like you're behind. You feel like you're not doing what you're supposed to do because you aren't there yet. But that's just not true. You're doing a good job and you need to give yourself more credit for that. There's no reason why you should be making steps every single day and actually making progress and then telling yourself you're a failure. The only thing that makes you a failure is when you stop. If you wake up one day and you're having a bad day, because it's okay to have bad days. Like, that's perfectly normal to have days where you wake up and you feel overwhelmed. You feel like you're not making the progress that you feel like you should be making. I think that's part of the process. Like, everybody doesn't feel 100% all the time. Like, there are days along your journey where you don't feel as good, and that's okay. But the only thing that makes you a failure is if you wake up on one of those days and you just decide, okay, well, I'm done. I'm not going to try anymore. Then you fail. When you stop trying, you fail. But if you wake up every day and you put some effort in, there's no way you could be a failure. How can you fail if you're still trying? You're not done. You never know what the future has in store for you. You never know when your next step might lead you to that big thing. So it's important to just keep going. And also, I think most importantly, you never know who's watching you. While you're taking these steps and taking a chance on yourself and making these big leaps, there are people watching you. Like, they might not say anything, but there are people watching you. Like, I'm sure there are people who tune into my videos on a regular basis and they don't say anything, but that's okay. I hope you're gaining something from it. I hope you're getting inspiration. I hope it inspires you to go along with your own journey and take a chance on yourself, because that's really what I'm making these videos for. Like, I'm not trying to be an influencer or anything like that. I'm hoping to inspire other people to take chances on themselves, because like it's very easy to do what's easy. It's easy to not take a chance on yourself. It's easy to just go along with the status quo and take the easy route. Go, like, for me personally, like, I am an aspiring entrepreneur. Matter of fact, I don't even want to call myself an aspiring entrepreneur. I am an entrepreneur. It's going to happen. But it will be very easy to just keep working a regular job. It will be extremely easy. Like, go get a job. Done. Or another big thing for me is my fitness journey. It will be very, very easy to just not work out, to not eat right. And I'm not saying I eat perfect all the time. Like, that would just be a lie. But I have made significant strides in cleaning up my nutrition. I think majority of what I eat is things that are good for me, things that are going to help me along my journey. But like, it's easy to just go get some fast food real quick. Like, that's what it's for. That's why it's called fast food. It's quick. It's usually cheap, or relatively cheap, because everything is overpriced right now. And it's easy to just decide to skip the gym. Like, it's so easy. You can literally go do anything else. You can go sit on the couch and binge watch your favorite reality TV show. Easy. I know I used to do it all the time. Like, and honestly, that was the worst point in my life. Like, I would literally sit in front of the TV for hours, eat a bunch of shitty food, and feel terrible about myself. And usually I would end up crying because, like, I knew I wasn't living in my purpose. And if you're somebody who does things like that, I know you feel something similar. Like, you sit and you get absorbed in this mindless entertainment, these mindless activities that aren't doing anything for you. They aren't helping you grow. They don't make you feel good. It's just entertaining. And you sit in the back of your mind and you wonder why you don't feel fulfilled. You're not doing anything to grow. You're not doing anything to fulfill yourself. You're not getting to know those parts of yourself that you don't necessarily know. Because, like, let's be honest, we all live with ourselves every day, but until you push yourself past a certain point, how can you really say you know yourself? Like, there's no way to know everything about yourself when all you've ever done is what's comfortable. Like, I think you really get to know yourself when you start pushing yourself past the point of being comfortable and start doing things that make you really uncomfortable, that make you question everything you've ever known. Like me making this video right now. If you would have told me at the beginning of the year that I would be sitting here recording videos for social media to try to inspire people, I'd have told you you're a fucking liar. Like, this is not something I would ever do. But I'm doing it because it's pushing me outside of my comfort zone. This is making me do things that I never thought I would do before. I would never sit and talk to a camera. I would never sit and try to inspire anybody to do anything because, like, who am I? But also, like, who am I to not sit and make something like this? With everything that I've learned on my journey, all the different failures that I've had, or I don't even consider them failures, like all the different lessons that I've learned on my journey. There have been a lot of different things I've tried and haven't necessarily worked out, but I have learned lessons, and I can take those lessons and apply them to future situations. And those are things that I do every single day. You have to learn how to work through obstacles. Like, there are always going to be obstacles. Life is not going to get any easier. I don't care what anybody tells you. Once you get over one problem, there's going to be another problem. There's always going to be another problem. It's up to you to figure out how to deal with those problems, though. Are you going to push through? Are you going to find a way to work around it? Are you going to find a solution? Or are you just going to let that problem be the end? Like, are you going to let your problems win? Is that who you are? You going to let your problems win? Or are you going to push through it? Are you going to figure it out? Are you going to grow? Are you going to become better? Are you going to work through it and become the best version of yourself? Because that's what you deserve. Like, I'm going to be completely honest with you. If you let your problems win every single time, you're a loser. Like, that's what makes you a loser. That's what, like, you're a quitter. You're quitting. Why would you quit on yourself? There's absolutely no reason why you should quit on yourself. We get one life. One. And you're telling me that you're going to let a little inconvenience stop you from trying to live the best life that you possibly can? You're going to let a tough childhood stop you from trying to make a better life? Like, do you really think that because you were born to a single parent with no money in a bad neighborhood, that that's where you have to stay for the rest of your life? That's some bullshit. Like, you don't have to stay in a bad situation just because that's what you were born into. Like, it's up to you to decide that you want better. And then you have to proceed to find a way to get better. If you don't, then obviously you are not going to get better. And I'm not just speaking like about finances. I'm speaking about any and every area that you want to grow in your life. Like, for example, something that I wanted to grow in and progress at for a long time was my fitness journey. I got my first gym membership when I was like 21. I'm 28 now, and I'm just getting to a point of consistency. I'm just starting to go to the gym 5 days a week. Like, I'm just starting to really push myself hard because it's a process. You can't expect everything to happen for you instantly. Nothing, well, I don't want to say nothing, but most things don't happen overnight. Like, you have to work at it. Like, so what if you mess up? That's life. People make mistakes. You're human. You're going to make mistakes. Things are going to be hard. But it's up to you how you react when things get hard. When I first started going to the gym, I think I would go for maybe like 30 minutes, a couple of days a week. And then I would fall off. And I repeated that process. I would go to the gym. I would get a new gym membership, whatever. I would go to the gym. I would go in. I didn't have any real plan, no real workouts or anything. I would get it done pretty quick and I would leave. And I would eat whatever I wanted to. It took time for me to learn how to properly work out. It took time for me to make time to work out. It took time for me to learn about nutrition until eventually I got to where I am now. I had to push myself to do 5 days a week. Like, that wasn't easy. I used to look at my program and think, like, who has time to work out 5 days a week? But the truth of the matter is there are plenty of people who have time to work out 5 days a week. There are people out here with way more on their plate than me that make time to work out 5 days a week. And I think that was the ultimate deciding factor for me, that yes, I do have time, and yes, I can do it. There's people out here with way more on their plate than me that get it done. So what's really stopping me from getting it done? Like, it's just a bunch of excuses. You have to recognize when you're making excuses for yourself and then stop. Your excuses aren't doing anything but holding you back. And that brings me back to being comfortable. It's easy to do what's comfortable. It's comfortable making excuses because your excuses allow you to be subpar. Your excuses give you reasons to be subpar. You're telling yourself, I can't do this because this. And it's a lie. You can do it. You don't want to do it. You don't want it bad enough. And that's the truth. You just don't want it bad enough. If you want something bad enough, you're going to find a way to get it. You want that cheeseburger, you're going to open up your phone and order on DoorDash, or you're going to go get in the car, you go get the cheeseburger. I don't know if people still wait in line for new iPhone drops or not, but like, if you want the new iPhone, you're going to go sit outside the Apple store and wait for it to drop, right? I'm sure you've done it before. If you have done it before, I have some questions for you. But the point I'm trying to make is we make time for the things that we want. We make a way to get the things we want. So if you're making excuses as to why you can't get X, Y, and Z done, you just simply don't want it bad enough. And you need to admit that to yourself, or else you're never going to make any progress. You have to be honest with yourself and say, I am not ready. And it's okay if you're not ready, but you have to recognize that you are not ready, or else how are you ever going to get ready? Sometimes we want things, but it's just not the right season in life for us. And that doesn't mean that it's not going to happen for us, but you have to keep working at it. You have to take small steps towards that thing that you want, or it's not going to happen. Like for me, like I have been saying for the longest that I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I wanted my own business. I don't want to work for anybody else. But like, I didn't have a plan. I had an idea, and like I've always known that's what I wanted, but I didn't have any real plan towards what I was going to do, how I was going to make it happen. But I have tried so many different things. Like, it's actually crazy. Like, oh my goodness, I've tried so many things, y'all. I've tried thing after thing and hasn't worked out. But that's okay, because I've learned a lot of lessons from trying this thing and that thing and figuring out what I like, what I don't like, what works for me, what doesn't work for me. I think that's a part of the process. Like, figure out what you want. And then once you figure out what you want, go after it full throttle and stop speaking negatively to yourself. Stop telling yourself what you can't do, or, oh, like that could never happen for me. Like, how does that make sense to you? Why would you sit and tell yourself that, oh, this isn't going to work for me? You're right. It's not going to work for you. Like, you don't even believe it. How is it going to work for you? Like, duh, of course it's not going to work. You don't believe in yourself. But honestly, chasing after any goal that you have, I think goes back to your mindset. You have to first shift your mindset from being a victim into being a victor. You have to decide that you want this. You are going to get this no matter what it takes, as long as you're not like harming anybody or yourself, of course. But like, you have to change your mindset. You have to decide that you can have this. You deserve this. You are going to get this, or else it's not going to happen. Like, how do you expect for anything to work for you if you don't believe in yourself? Like, you have to believe in yourself. You have to be damn near delusional. You have to be delusional about the things that you want. We make time for what we want. If you really wanted it, you would find the time. Like, it's really that simple. I believe in you, and I hope you believe in yourself. You have to remember that if you don't take a chance on yourself, nobody else will. I really don't believe in New Year's resolutions. I believe in just taking action. But if you are somebody who believes in New Year's resolutions and you're waiting for the top of the year to start working towards your goals, then I think you should use the time now to plan out how you want your next year to go. Like, and make small goals. Don't make a huge goal and then be disappointed when you don't accomplish the huge goal next year. I think you should create a main goal and then have tiny milestones. And you have to believe in yourself first. And if you don't believe in yourself, you need to figure out why you don't believe in yourself. Figure out what the root issue is and how you can move past that. Because I want you to live your best life. Like, we're trying to live our best lives around here. And there's really no excuse as to why you can't be working towards that. Really, I don't even feel like you should wait until the new year to start. But if you're going to wait until the new year starts, then make sure you're going into the new year with some sort of plan. Whether that's a vision board or a checklist of some sort, just have something physical. I think having something physical that you can see, something you can touch to keep you on track is a good way to make sure that you are working towards whatever you want to accomplish. Because if not, then you'll just put it off or you'll forget, and then nothing is going to change. So I hope this video was helpful. I hope I didn't do too much screaming, but if I did do a lot of screaming, hopefully it was something you needed to hear, and I hope I got through to you.